The WWE Universe witnessed something absolutely unprecedented on SmackDown that nobody saw coming and has left social media exploding with reactions, debates, and pure disbelief. What started as a standard in-ring segment between two of the most dominant women in professional wrestling quickly spiraled into one of the most talked about, controversial, and jaw-dropping moments in recent WWE history. Nia Jax and Naomi found themselves at the center of a storm that has fans divided, networks scrambling, and everyone asking what exactly happened and why. Before we dive into every single detail of this insane moment, make sure you hit that subscribe button because you don't want to miss any of the latest WWE news, drama, and exclusive content we bring you every single day. The tension between Nia Jax and Naomi had been building for weeks, with both superstars exchanging verbal jabs, backstage confrontations, and heated stare-downs that made it clear something big was about to explode. Their rivalry wasn't just about championship aspirations or rankings, but personal pride, respect, and dominance in a division that has become increasingly competitive. Naomi had been on a winning streak, proving herself as one of the most athletic and exciting performers on the roster, while Nia Jax had been asserting her dominance as an unstoppable force who crushes anyone in her path. The collision course was set, and everyone knew that when these two finally clashed it was going to be explosive, but nobody could have predicted just how far things would go. SmackDown opened with an electric atmosphere as the crowd was buzzing with anticipation for what was being advertised as a confrontation segment between the two rivals. Naomi made her entrance first, with her signature glow entrance lighting up the arena as fans cheered for the fan favorite who has consistently delivered incredible performances and connected with the audience on a deep level. Her confidence was evident as she grabbed a microphone and stood in the center of the ring, ready to address Nia Jax and lay down the challenge that everyone had been waiting for. She spoke about earning respect through hard work, dedication, and proving yourself every single night rather than relying on size, intimidation, and a famous family name. The crowd erupted in support as Naomi's words clearly struck a nerve and set the stage for what was about to unfold. Nia Jax's music hit and the atmosphere immediately shifted as the powerhouse made her way to the ring with an expression that showed she was in no mood for games or talking. She stormed down the ramp, climbed into the ring, and immediately got in Naomi's face, creating a tense standoff that had the entire arena on edge. Nia grabbed the microphone and fired back with her own verbal assault, talking about how Naomi was all flash and no substance, all style with no real power, and that when it came down to real competition Naomi would crumble under the pressure. The back and forth intensified, with both women refusing to back down and the crowd getting louder with every exchange as it became clear this wasn't going to end with just words. What happened next shocked everyone in attendance and watching at home as the verbal confrontation turned physical in the blink of an eye. Nia Jax suddenly lunged forward and grabbed Naomi in a way that was clearly not part of any planned or rehearsed spot. The aggression was real, the intensity was off the charts, and what followed was a chaotic sequence that saw both women struggling in the ring as referees and officials rushed down to try and separate them. In the midst of this chaos, Nia Jax managed to grab hold of Naomi's ring gear, and in a shocking moment that sent the arena into complete mayhem, portions of Naomi's attire were torn and ripped in a way that exposed her in a manner that was never intended to happen on live television. The cameras immediately tried to cut away as production scrambled to avoid broadcasting something that crossed every line of what is acceptable on a PG-rated show, but the damage was done and the moment had already been seen by thousands in the arena and countless viewers watching live. Naomi quickly tried to cover herself as referees, officials, and even some superstars from the back rushed to the ring with towels and jackets to protect her dignity and get the situation under control. The look on Naomi's face was one of shock, embarrassment, and anger as she realized what had just happened, while Nia Jax seemed equally stunned by how far things had escalated, though some fans have debated whether there was intent behind her actions or if it was a genuine accident in the heat of the moment. Social media absolutely exploded within minutes of the incident as clips, videos, and screenshots began circulating across every platform, with fans expressing outraged disbelief and demanding answers from WWE about how something like this could happen. The hashtag started trending immediately, with some fans defending Naomi and calling for consequences for Nia Jax, while others argued it was an unfortunate accident that happened in the chaos of a physical altercation. Wrestling journalists, insiders, and analysts began weighing in, offering their perspectives on whether this was a planned controversial angle or a legitimate incident that went way too far. The debate raged on with no clear consensus as everyone tried to make sense of what they had just witnessed. Backstage reports began emerging shortly after the segment ended, with sources claiming that there was immediate concern and panic among WWE officials, producers, and executives about what had just aired on live television. Conversations were reportedly had about whether to address it on air, issue an apology, or simply move forward with the rest of the show and hope the controversy would die down. Naomi was said to be understandably upset and shaken by what happened, while Nia Jax was reportedly pulled aside for discussions about the incident and what would happen next. The locker room atmosphere was tense as other superstars reacted to what had taken place, with many expressing support for Naomi and frustration over how the situation was handled. The remainder of SmackDown continued, but the energy had shifted as fans in attendance and watching at home couldn't stop talking about what they had seen. Commentary tried to move past the incident without directly addressing it, which only fueled more speculation and criticism about WWE's handling of the situation. Some fans felt the company should have immediately acknowledged what happened, issued an apology, and explained what steps would be taken, while others believed that ignoring it was the best course of action to avoid drawing more attention to an already embarrassing moment. The divide in opinion showed just how complicated and sensitive the situation had become. By the time SmackDown went off the air, the incident had already become one of the most talked about moments in recent WWE history for all the wrong reasons. News outlets, wrestling websites, and mainstream media began picking up the story, reporting on what had happened and questioning WWE's responsibility in protecting its performers and maintaining standards on live television. The scrutiny intensified as more people weighed in, with opinions ranging from calling for serious disciplinary action to suggesting that both Naomi and Nia Jax were victims of a situation that spiraled out of control due to poor planning and lack of oversight. The conversation expanded beyond just wrestling fans as the incident drew attention from those outside the typical audience. In the days following the incident, WWE remained largely silent on the matter, refusing to issue an official statement or address the controversy directly, which only added fuel to the fire. Fans demanded transparency, accountability, and reassurance that measures would be put in place to prevent anything like this from happening again. Naomi herself took to social media to share a brief message thanking fans for their support and making it clear that she was handling the situation with grace and professionalism despite the embarrassment and violation she experienced. Her response earned widespread praise as many admired her strength and composure in the face of such a difficult moment. Nia Jax also broke her silence days later, posting a message that some interpreted as an apology while others felt it was vague and didn't take full responsibility for what had occurred. The ambiguity of her statement sparked even more debate as fans dissected every word, trying to determine whether she was genuinely remorseful or simply trying to do damage control. The lack of clarity from both WWE and the involved parties left everyone frustrated and searching for answers that never seemed to come. The incident has raised important questions about safety boundaries and the responsibility of WWE to protect its performers both physically and from situations that could compromise their dignity. Many have pointed out that while professional wrestling is physical and unpredictable, there are lines that should never be crossed and protocols that should be in place to prevent incidents like this. The conversation has extended to discussions about wardrobe malfunctions in wrestling, how they should be handled, and what measures can be taken to minimize the risk while still allowing performers to execute the athletic and physical nature of their craft. Some fans have theorized that the incident could lead to changes in how segments are planned, choreographed, and executed, with more emphasis on safety checks, communication between performers, and oversight from producers. Others believe that WWE will simply move on from the controversy as they have done with other incidents in the past, hoping that time will cause people to forget and shift their attention to new storylines and angles. The uncertainty about what comes next has kept the wrestling community engaged in ongoing discussions about what this means for both Naomi and Nia Jax moving forward. The impact on both women's careers remains to be seen, as WWE will have to decide how to handle the fallout and whether to address it as part of their storyline or pretend it never happened. Some believe that Naomi deserves a major push and opportunity as a way of making things right after what she went through, while others think Nia Jax should face consequences, whether through suspension as storyline punishment or being moved away from high-profile segments. The booking decisions in the coming weeks will be closely watched as fans look for signs of how WWE plans to handle the situation. This incident has also sparked broader conversations about the treatment of women in professional wrestling and the unique challenges they face in an industry that is physically demanding and often pushes boundaries for entertainment. The balance between creating compelling dramatic moments and ensuring the safety, dignity, and respect of performers is a delicate one, and this situation has highlighted just how quickly things can go wrong when that balance is not maintained. Many hope that this serves as a wake-up call for WWE and the entire wrestling industry to re-evaluate their practices and prioritize the well-being of their talent above all else. The Smackdown incident between Nia Jax and Naomi will be remembered as one of the most controversial and shocking moments in recent memory, not because it was a great angle or a brilliant piece of storytelling, but because it crossed a line that should never have been crossed. Whether it was an accident or something more, the damage was done, and the conversation it sparked about safety, respect, and responsibility in professional wrestling is one that needed to happen. As fans, we can only hope that WWE learns from this situation, takes the necessary steps to prevent it from happening again, and treats both Naomi and Nia Jax with the respect and professionalism they deserve as performers who put their bodies on the line every single night for our entertainment. If you want to stay updated on all the latest developments in this story and everything else happening in the world of WWE, make sure you subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell, and join the conversation in the comments below, because we will continue to bring you all the breaking news, analysis, and exclusive content you need to stay informed and connected to the action.